for today, we will be doing the first year med school survival guide.
Back to school season is around the corner. We decided to make a video answering the questions that you might have about starting med school.
In order to give you a better insight, since we cannot answer all these questions by ourselves, we have invited our very special guests and also our dearest friends to help us answer all of these questions.
So we have invited students from different colleges, different courses, different parts of the Philippines, and different med schools as well.
Since this is a lengthy video, we've included some timestamps for you to jump into the topics you're interested in the most.
So personally, my first and really top one question was how upperclassmen from my college that took the same course as me found med school, or how they dealt with med school and what the differences from college and med school was for them. So it's important to mention that there is no specific pre-med course that is made for medicine, and there is no such thing as the best course that prepares you for medicine.
You don't really need a certain or specific pre-med to go into medicine. Like, some people come from business-related courses and still thrive or do well in medical school.
Although we have invited different people from different medical related pre-med courses, as what Yana mentioned earlier, you can take a non-med related course in college and still get accepted and do well in med school.
Since Nikki and I are both medtech grads, we thought it would be insufficient for us to be answering all of the questions. So that is why we invited our batchmates from different undergrad courses to answer some of these questions.
Okay, so we have our two guests to help answer these questions. BS Pharmacy graduate from the University of San Agustin, Dwayne Senioran RPH, and BS Psychology graduate from the Ateneo de Manila University, Asana Cabahog.
What made you decide to choose your specific course or pre-med?
The reason why I chose psych as my pre-med is because I was interested in becoming a psychiatrist. I thought that would be a good place to start.
Wow,
Okay.
mine is so whack.
Why was yours?
So for me, I took pharmacy because my high school classmate also took pharmacy, and I said, oh, okay, I might be good with chem, and I think pharmacy doesn't have any math. Yeah.
Doesn't pharma have a lot of math? Don't you
have math?
Yeah, every
For
subject is all
dosage.
math.
I chose
For you,
medtech
Nick.
with really zero knowledge knowing what it was, but people just said it was a good pre-med course, so I was like,
Yes,
let's
that's the
go.
default.
Yeah, but I don't think that there is any perfect pre-med person.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all have to learn from scratch.
I think that's why it's important in the group. If you guys are different courses, you
Yeah.
can help each other out.
I mean, for me, I was definitely scared going into med because I was psych. A part of me almost didn't want to go through with it because I was I'm gonna be so underprepared and everyone's gonna be ahead of me. And then the only reason why I went through with it is because I have a tita. She was psych also in UP Diliman, and she went to CIM after. Then she was like, you could really do it, but you really have to change your study habits. Because when I was in college, I didn't study good, and then when you get to med, it's you're gonna be so shocked at the amount of things that you have to study.
It's really just hard work. For the next question, how do you think your course has helped prepare you for medicine?
For me, pharmacy is a heavy science course, so it demands a lot of time. With pharmacy, you have a lot of things to study as well, and you already had the discipline when it comes to studying. It's just that, it's a different method of.
I think it was the study habits from college
Hardworking.
that helped me prepare for med. 'Cause,
Yeah, definitely.
in terms of the subjects and stuff, I know we had Hista in college, but it was also really different in med, just like what Dwayne said. And it was really study habits, perseverance, and not giving up despite the discouraging grades that helped us push through.
And also the pressure. The medtech course in Belas, it kind of relates to the pressure of passing med.
For me naman, honestly, there's not much psych can prepare, can offer you in terms of med, at least in my experience. For me, psych, the way the psych program was set up in Ateneo, I mean, we had org chem, we had biochem, enough chem and enough bio. When you get to med, you have zero stock knowledge. We have PBLA. What you're supposed to do is discuss what you know about the case. I mean, they don't expect you to know everything, of course. They just want you to talk about your stock knowledge and like see if you can relate anything from your previous course. As a psych person, I have no stock knowledge ever. CBL, I am so quiet. I'm always outside getting snacks or something because I have nothing to contribute. Like, you have no stock knowledge, but they give you the tools so that you can understand it. Like, what did help me in my course is like, we read a lot and we did a lot of research in Ateneo. Reading wasn't really much of a problem for me. Last thing, I don't know if a lot of people will consider this a plus, but it's like, since my college course was more chill, I was able to go out more in Manila and like, you know, I was able to like get that out of my system so that now that I'm in med school, I don't feel like I'm missing out on as much, even though I'm studying 6 out of 7 days a week. No more free time and all that.
Are the challenges you faced in college and in first year med similar or different?
The challenges were definitely different from college and med. The biggest challenge in med was really more of like getting used to staying in a coffee shop for 6 hours a day, you know? I never really did that before. Like, I didn't know people even did that. In college, you know, I would study like 3-4 hours a week, and now it's like 6 hours a day. So it was such a big difference. The catching up wasn't as hard as I thought it would, because sort of like everyone is starting at the same playing field in some way. Like, just because of the bulk of the things that we have to learn, it's like everyone has to like read so much also. So that wasn't as big a problem as I thought it would be.
I think for us naman, like, the similarity for med and college was the studying part, because like college was really study heavy for us, but then the difference was that in med, the coverage for one exam is really long and really bulky, which was really challenging to adapt to, because especially in college for us in our school, we relied mostly on notes, and then when we went to med, we just had to like read so many thick books and many hundreds of pages and like so many chapters. It was very overwhelming at first.
Larfasi warned us, like, you really have to read the book, you can't rely on notes anymore, because like that won't help you understand. Like, you really have to read first the book before anything.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of students who say that hand-me-down notes are effective, but I guess for me, it's really not.
I think notes are only useful after you've read the book. Like, they're definitely useful for me, like, to review. You're wasting your time if you don't understand the concept and you go straight to the notes.
Very clear, like, difference is the type of learning, like PBL and traditional learning. During college, our whole life in college, like, we would always just have lectures, and our teachers would always just like give us like the specific outline, like what we're supposed to study. But then in med, like, they just give you a rough like learning objectives, and it's kind of up to you to read the book and really understand the concepts.
The thing I liked as well in med compared to college was we had less class hours. Like, we would usually just be half a day, but like we'd have PBL and independent learning. While in college, our classes would be like from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and we'd barely get any time to study. That was really hard. So I loved having like the free time to study.
For me also, I like the discussions, the small group discussions, because since you're discussing with your peers and like people the same age as you, sort of the same level as you don't feel so intimidated to like talk and like learn together. Compared to like, if it's a teacher, sometimes you get scared to ask a teacher. When you figure out something together with your group also, like when you understand the concept together, like solve a medical case together, it feels more rewarding. And then I think it sticks more with you because of the experience, you know? Like you remember it more.
And then also, if you don't understand things in SGDs, you have the FASI, who's also a doctor, who can like give more input to help you understand the case more.
Yeah.
So it's really interactive.
I guess one of the differences for me was the study methods that I have to use. Again, when it comes to chemistry, I study it more in like how you would study in applied chemistry, because most of our chem is like that. And you know, you have to know every single thing for chemistry, at least from how I remembered it back then. And now in medicine, it's more of practicality, what's more concerned with clinical studies.
Oh yeah, guys! Sana has a business. She's selling fluffy beignets. We'll link your Instagram shop below.
Yay, thanks guys.
Although this isn't really applicable now due to the COVID situation making it hard for people to move, this is still a very important topic, as it can be very intimidating to move to a different city or school?
I mean, we really wouldn't know about this experience since both of us have gone to school just in the same city that we've lived in all our lives. The idea of learning a whole different dialect there seems very intimidating.
For this question, let us welcome back Dwayne Senyoron.
What have you done to cope with living in a dorm and not really knowing anyone of your batchmates going into CIM? When you first moved here, there were less than 10 of you from Iloilo.
Yeah, there were actually only 2 of us from Iloilo, as far as I know. During the first few weeks, it was kind of hard. Previously, like, I came from Manila at that time, so I'm kind of thankful that my groupmates are kind of understanding, at least for me, since most of them speak in English. And even if I try to speak it, beside that, we try to correctly find wrong.
Was adapting to a new place and learning a new dialect easier or harder than you expected, and why?
Understanding the language itself, it's kind of easy. I grew up in Iloilo, so the language is almost the same. Accent-wise, construction and grammar is kind of different. And it was easy to understand, for sure. But speaking it is on a different level, at least for me.
After college, you moved to Manila to work for a few years. So what was more difficult for you, moving to a different city for work or moving to Cebu for like
For
med?
school. Initially, I moved to Manila for my boards, so I had to study there. And it was easier for me since I go to Manila a lot. And, you know, there was no adjustment period for me. And I know a lot of people there already compared to here. But the thing that makes it hard for me here is that the amount of stuff that we have to study is way more compared to, you know, a review school for board exams or let's say work.
Yeah.
Since you
So
only
like
work
the study load.
from 8 to 5. Yeah, the study load is a lot.
So last question, some advice to give future med students who plan to leave home to pursue their med dream outside the comforts of their hometown.
The first advice that I would give is to mentally prepare yourself because it's way harder than what you think it is. At least if you don't know anybody. If you're all alone in a city where you don't understand anything, it's best that you try to become friends with a lot of people in your class. Like, you have to gather all of the friends that you have and courage. And also, it would help that you always stay communicated with your parents. Be someone to vent out to who understands your struggle as well. Also, it's tricky to find a group of friends that works for you. But I guess it's all trial and error.
Throughout this video, we've only been talking about surviving med school. However, what about excelling?
So as average med students, we felt like we couldn't give the right answers for those who really want to like excel and do really well and get like top-notch work grades in med school.
Really just on the average line, guys. So we are not fit to answer any of these questions. We invited one of the top students in our undergrad and first year med, our first year batch president, and student council treasurer, Adrian Go ASCPI. What is your secret in topping med school?
I don't really have a secret. It's more of just finding what works best for you, remembering, you know, why you did it in the first place. And then I have this mentality, man, na if you're going to do something, you might as well do the best you can. Especially if it's something you love, you know, because, you know, I've known you guys since MedTech and we've always talked about becoming doctors and then finally we're here. So this is like you applying everything you've ever known to the profession that you've chosen. Why not do the best you can when you do it?
Any advice to give incoming freshmen who want to do like well or excel in med?
Don't throw anything. If you can, just keep reading, and then you'll really feel like you'll give up because the coverage is really insane. Do it not because you want to top exams, but because you're doing this to learn, you know, you're applying this to your patients in the future, your clinics in several years. Yeah, that's the same advice that was given to me, Beta.
We have Miss Karen Bascar, our incoming first year medical student, to read to us. She's going to read to us the the questions of her other batchmates for entering med school.
What would you consider like essentials to med school, like iPad, books? Like what an incoming first year should have like prepared already?
Prepared.
Like, do I need like or like is an
paper.
iPad essential?
No, it's not. Some people, they study only on books, some study only with iPads, some only use laptops. So it really just depends on you. Like you don't have to, conform with everyone else. Like what method you learn better.
In CDU ba yun, okay, you really do need an iPad or a tablet or a smartphone. Because our SGD cases, kay, they're given through Google Classroom, and so you need to have like a
Even
smartphone
before
to open it.
like online learning.
Yeah.
Even before COVID.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
before
they
COVID,
already
like,
had
you really
Google.
needed an iPad.
Diba you guys already had like Google
Classroom.
Class? Yeah.
Yeah, like that's where
Or
they would
just-
put like the homeworks and the SGDs and stuff.
Then like at this time, I think you really need one.
Yeah. Guys, do you think missing out on all the important life events of your friends and family now because you have to study will be worth it in the end?
I feel like it's not worth it. Those events only happen once. So that's why you have to manage your time in advance now so that you can, insert those little events. Kaya you never know when those events are gonna happen again. But
I feel like that's the important thing, like managing your time. Like it's a really big misconception that you miss out on like your entire life just because you're in med school. Like you should be able to balance life and studying at the same time. Because if you just focus on studying, like you're really going to lose yourself. Like you need time to yourself as well to like spend with your friends or family to like recover from all the stress.
I agree with Kristen naman na you just have to manage your time wisely, but now you have to also draw the line which events are important to you.
You also have the choice to pick like what's important, like a super important event, and what's just like
Or like
laag.
if there's something that you really want to go to, but then you might have a test that week, then you should prepare for it in advance and like advance study so that when the time comes you won't be behind on your studies anymore.
Dating life, like dating someone na not men.
You really have to tell them that this is what you want, this is how I study, we might not have time for each other, but we can make it work naman. You just have to reach a compromise here between you both.
So how was your experience like adjusting or shifting from, like the traditional schooling to online learning?
oh my god, I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, honestly,
It's
it was really
hard.
hard adjusting. Especially for us, also in CU, diba? Like, our system is like self-directed learning with small group discussions, PBL, so we didn't really have that much lectures before like COVID. So it was like we would discuss the case with our groups, and that was really comfortable for us.
So tiring studying at home all the time, so much distractions. Support system is so important in med, and when you don't have it or when they're not with you all the time, it gets really hard.
Before online school, we would all study together, so we would push ourselves because if my batchmate is still studying, I should also study. And then when we had to study alone at home, like if you're tired and there's no one else at home studying with you, you really get demotivated. So what we did was we would sometimes video call each other and we would all just study together.
The burnout was so strong, like it was getting so strong course by.
So you guys, diba, you're used to studying out. I see you guys all the time in Starbucks. And like, how was it like doing most of your studying at home na?
It takes a while for me to like get in the zone na. Stay out, okay? It's like straight. There's nothing that can distract me, but if I'm at home, okay, my siblings want help with something or they're really loud. And like the environment itself, I had to like get used to it and stuff. But like later on, like when you realize that you have no choice, okay, you'll do it, Raman said. Like you can do it, girl.
Same with Kristen naman. It was difficult. You have to adapt to it because you realize na it's essential ba.
When we'd have lectures in the morning and then we'd have to study in the afternoon, it would be so tiring for me to sit in one place. So I'd try to listen to lectures in a different place from where I'd study, so it felt like I was moving when in reality I was just at home.
Me, I charge my phone on the opposite side.
But I would put my phone far away,
How do you keep up with the workload?
Don't give up. Going to feel helpless, hopeless, really sad, but just keep on
Push
reading.
through
Like
it.
there are some days where you feel so dumb, Jud, but you're not dumb. You're just tired.
It's okay to take short breaks.
It's okay to
Oh,
take
yeah.
breaks. And like don't forget to treat yourself. Like every after exam, it's okay to treat yourself.
That's true. Always put at least one day or half a day. You don't do anything. Like for example, after Friday, or like the later part of Friday night, you treat yourself, you spend time with your family, your friends, so that
No-med day.
you don't burn out.
Yeah,
have a
no-med days
day
are very
or no-med
important.
night.
What were your motivations in getting through first year?
It's hard, but then you just tell yourself that it's gonna get better. I'm gonna adapt to it. Like it's going to be okay in the end.
It's really okay, Rabito. Like, it's really up to you on how you'll deal with it.
Very want it, you're gonna make a wage for it to work.
It's scary at first.
It's really
Yeah,
hard.
the
Like, no
first
joke, it's
exams
really
are
hard.
There's so much self-doubt.
I'm
Like,
sorry,
you
but it's
covered
really
so
hard. I'm
long.
not joking. I was
Yeah.
so
But doesn't
shocked
get
by how hard
better at
it is.
least.
It's still hard, but you're the one that gets better.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
better,
That's the
like,
right
dealing with it.
answer.
Nice one.
Med school is a long and difficult journey, and it seems especially daunting when you go into it blindly and alone.
We hope that we were able to shed some light on some of your queries and ease your anxieties about starting med school.
If you have more questions about starting med school that we haven't answered in this video, feel free to write them down in the comment section below, and we will try to answer them the best that we can.
So please remember that anything is achievable with hard work, grit, and determination.
To all the incoming freshmen, good luck.
And God bless.
So we hope you
Big
enjoyed this video, and please give it a thumbs up if you did, like and share, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye guys.